7. So here I am. Rock you like a hurricane. Are you ready? Do, 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 do. Arson, but they're wasting the electricity. They got the lights turned on. I don't know what force they're turned on. And we got somebody that's like a gazebo. They got a couple guys working down there actually. But yeah, that used to be the old I forget which bank that was. That's the bank I used to use. Um I think it was Bank of America. Yeah, that used to be Bank of America. And right across the street is the marijuana place. What do you say we go over there and get some marijuana? Woohoo! It used to be right there. They're on that when they shut down. And so anyway, I'm recording on this phone that I'm usually monitoring my car with, but I've got 10 kilowatts. I got a 10 kilowatt hour of juice left in the battery. And so I got my other phone here. So I got my leaf spy turned off and I'm recording on it. So let me just check my signal strength. Is pumping out 3 bars on 5G. And you know how 5G is, right? It's questionable. But yeah, I came down here to the social services and they gave me the paperwork that I need right away, because there's these websites that are supposed to be available and they say you can get all the documents you need. Man, these things are so to be, if they're gonna do something. Oh yeah, I was talking about the judges. Okay, so I said the judges, what's hindering us from having justice are these judges who have inferiority complexes. So if you have judges who have inferiority complexes and they are forbidding live streams in the courtroom, forbidding cell phones. Okay? If they want to forbid and be unconstitutional, that's on them. Let them just be like that. But we should have access to judges who are open to having live streams, cameras in the courtroom. Even if they're, you pay for them. If you have the option to go to and maybe pay a little bit of money, say $100, right? You should have the option to go to a court with a judge who permits live streams, so that you will get, it's basically like having a 12-panel jury. Okay, so you will get justice in your court proceedings, so that the public, because court proceedings are supposed to be public anyways, these judges are basically full of shit. Okay, so some people start businesses where you have judges who are okay with live streams being allowed in the courtroom, even if the citizens have to pay an extra 100, 200, 250, right? To have your hearings in at one of these places that do not forbid live stream cameras in their courtrooms. Good. Because otherwise you don't know what the hell is going on in there. If you could film the crap, you can watch it later on and you'll get an inkling of what's going on. I'm almost certain it's straight freaking bullshit what's going on in there. They don't even know what the hell they're doing. Have you ever looked at the paperwork on these legal documents? It all looks like freaking freaking garbage. They scribble over from there. Doing all kinds of illegal. And so anyway, I just wanted to toss that in there. I'm not saying all judges are bad. I'm just saying that whichever ones may be having an inferiority complex, about cameras being in there, about them being filmed, then that's, on them. But the citizens should be given the option, even if they have to pay for it, to be seen by a judge, have their court proceedings in a courtroom that allows live streams to be in there so the public can see what's going on, what kind of freaking shenanigans are going on in here, right? Because it's pick and choose. And on a lot of issues. And so anyway, so we're going to drive through town. I just checked out my Leaf Spy, and I've got 10 kilowatts of energy. So I think it would behoove me. There was a little girl in there, and she was saying hi to everybody. Hi and bye. But yeah, she's a little red hair girl, but I think she's Hispanic. And so I've got 10 kilowatts, so that's 40 miles, and it's only 20 miles back to Avenel, where I can recharge for free instead of spending, $5 here. So I think I might try that, or I might charge up with 3 kilowatts. That's 12 miles. Might charge up with 3 kilowatts, and then that way I know I'm good to make it back to Avenel, and if the charger's not working, I can make it back out to the house. Then I'll end up probably having to charge there at the house, which kind of inconvenient because you have to plug it in and time, and it adds to your utility bill. But that's the kind of stuff that you learn to deal with, especially when you're got really, really limited miles. I paid dirt cheap for this car, and I just got the paperwork to give to PG&E, which PG&E used to be right down here, but now they don't even have an office. You do all your stuff through the telephone. But back in the day, PG&E was right down there. I could just walk in there and give them this paperwork. And I'll probably, well, I don't want to say anything, knock on wood, but I got the paperwork that I need for them. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to drive over and show you this jacked up charger that is supposed to be free. It's pathetic. Okay, and then while I'm over there, I'll talk to you about something else. So here we go. We're in Coalinga, California. It's a nice sunny day over here. Unlike the other parts of the Central Valley, like Hanford, Fresno, Selma, Visalia, Tulare, Delano, Bakersfield, all those places are drenched in tule fog right now. But over here on the west side, they call this the west side, it's clear as a bell and sunshine. You could go swim. Yeah, springtime. I remember when I used to live over here, around this time, well, a little bit later when it start getting a little bit hotter. I remember what was coming on the radio was Paula Abdul, right? Straight up now, tell me, do you really want to? We were all listening to it out by the pool. And, well, later on in life, when I ended up over in Clovis, California, this is probably 15 years later, then I was doing pizza delivery, and Rihanna came out with this song called Under My Umbrella, right? And that song was really good, but she kind of reminds me of Paula Abdul. That song was really good. Rihanna with some really, really inspiring music. It was real good. So right down here, this is the post office. Then right across the street is the police department, and right behind the police department, they got a grip of chargers, but it's a different company. I don't know who it is. I can actually go charge over there now. I've got it set up for it. It's these weird, hardly anywhere. Most of them are charge point, but the ones back here in back of the police department is a strange company, Insta Try or some weird name. But I think I'm gonna try to, if I do go charge up, I'll probably charge on charge point, go right down there real quick, and then charge up about 3 kilowatt hours, which is $1.50. And so here's the device here. You see how it's the old school style? It doesn't have the fancy arc, so it looks really like garbage. And I don't know if it's really even tracking the sun, to tell you the truth. I think it's completely disconnected. And look at how they have the cables all crappy, but look how garbage this thing looks. See, I got my main phone. Let me take my main phone with me so it doesn't lose the signal. But this is supposed to be the free chargers for Coalinga, and they do not have any. So you don't think this has been freaking sabotaged? See that? And it is a beam. It's actually a beam. It's just, it doesn't have the arc. It doesn't have the fancy arc. This must have been the first ones they came out with before they came out with that fancy arc one. This one is not on it's not even on the map. If you look at Electrify America and all the 8 units that were deployed in these low incomes communities in Fresno County, this is Fresno County, but this one's not even on the map. So I don't know what this is about, but it is a beam. You can see it has all the solar panels. Has all the solar panels on it. It's a different kind of setup. This is like old school. This is when people didn't even know about electric vehicles. But yeah, this is Coalinga. So they effectively do not have free charging in Coalinga, because this thing does not work. Okay, let me show you this freaking dinosaur. I mean, it was pretty cool in a way. It actually has where you can plug in just your an extension cord if you want. But this is the standard connector, right? This is the J1772 connector. You just plug and play basically. And you can see it's called the Juice Box 2, just like the one over in Avenel. But you can see that there's no place to put batteries, right? Like the one in Avenel. So I guess they got the batteries in here, right? I guess this thing right here has the batteries in it. It's made out of plastic. Okay, they used to be called Envision. They used to be called Envision, but now they're called Beam. But they used to be called Envision Solar. Drive on Sunshine, Thrive on Sunshine. Envision, that company does not exist anymore. But it's got a couple of, use a key. It looks like an ignition key. So you use a key to open it to gain access, and probably this whole plastic thing right here. It's all made out of plastic. It probably you just pick it right up and lift it off, and beneath it is going to be freaking all kinds of batteries, right? And you know they're no good. So you have this little thing right here. I don't know what this is. I don't know what's in there. But over here, they have the circuit breakers. They have the circuit breakers and all kinds of places where you can use 220 or just regular basic 110. And that they got these things that are like the circuit breakers, and it's completely just not even working. But check this out. Okay, the circuit breaker, you know it's no good. Low battery, doesn't even show you low battery. It's just completely neglected, just a big pile of junk sitting out here. Whose is it? It'd be a piece of cake to fix this thing. It's just freaking solar panels and a battery and an inverter. This freaking gross negligence to the citizens of Coalinga. They're getting who's to be held accountable for this freaking negligence, right? You know, that thing must have cost a good, you know, $30,000, and they're just letting it go to waste. So who are the culprits? I mean, who are the suspects? The suspects are your local gas stations, right? Mingling with these people to get these to shut down, to F them up, to sabotage them. Your gas stations and your charge stations. The people who charge, were like, if I wanted to go charge the car right now, they're suspect because this is their competitor. But their competitor's not only underselling them, they're giving the product away for free, right? So those are the suspects, and big oil. And it's like this in every town. Okay? And so there it is. Now I'm on my way. I'm gonna take off back to whatchamacallit. Let me move the car, and then I'm gonna turn my leaf spy on, so I'll stop this video. But I want to talk to you about something real quick, and it is what's going on with the tortillas. Okay, because I told you I finally found those tortillas, but I think they're clowning us, to tell you the truth. I think they're clowning us, and I think what they're doing is they're just taking regular freaking tortillas. I'm not saying that I've got any proof about this, but from how they're being so secretive, okay, I think some of them are just and throwing them in a bag that says organic and USDA certified organic. Because who's going to check them? Who's going to test them? Go to their company and make sure. You know who's the people who can find out? The people. Because the people are the ones making the tortillas. You've got dudes just like us, poor people down on the streets working for these companies. These people know. Okay? So these people need to start, if they see stuff, you know, making organic tortillas, and you see the flour that's going into these and it's not organic, or you see some shady business, you need to start making some video live streams so that crap will go viral, so the people will know what these people are doing. Because I suspect there's some shady stuff going on, and I think they're just taking regular freaking tortillas and throwing them in a bag that says organic. And if anything ever gets oh, there was a mix-up on the assembly line, it was supposed to say this, right? Who's out there trying to check them? So some people, if you have something that's organic, they have third party to verify that it is organic. But these people are not telling you even where they get their flour from. And then, like this one company that sells in Walmart, why are you putting sugar in the tortillas? Right? So this one puts sugar in the tortillas when you don't need to put sugar in the tortillas. There's only 5 ingredients that go into tortillas, and it's not sugar. Then the next company throws in some sugar, and then throws in some sour gum, and puts in something else. Then the next, and calls it organic, USDA. And then the next company throws that in and throws some more stuff, till you got a big old list like that, and it says freaking organic on it. These people are being deceitful because they are hell-bent on raking that money in off you being sick off eating that garbage that they've been putting in there. They don't want to take that crap out of it. Okay? And they're not telling you where they're getting their flour from. Right? It should say, we get our flour from King Arthur. Right? If you walk into Walmart. So, us people who don't make our own tortillas, we're freaking getting bent. Okay? Because I think they're freaking clowning us. It's just regular freaking tortillas thrown in freaking a bag that says organic on it. And So the people who make their tortillas are way ahead of the game because they can go right down to Walmart and buy King Arthur organic flour. All-purpose flour is what they use for making tortillas. So I think we're just going to have to make our own bread and make our own tortillas. There's people online showing the people how to make them. Until these people straighten up and fly right and tell us where you're getting your freaking flour from, right? They're being deceitful. And there's 3 manufacturers that I've been checking out, okay? And none of them tell you where they're getting their flour from. And it is Mi Rancho. That's here in California. There's dozens and dozens of different manufacturers. The one that's in Walmart is actually Olay. The La Banderita is just one of their little sidekick brand names. So, you know, you don't know who the real company is Olay. And this company is out of Georgia. Why is Georgia selling freaking tortillas in California? When we got our own freaking company who makes freaking organic tortillas over here, and they're not on the shelves over here. They're being sold over in freaking New Jersey. These clowns are sitting here doing this so that they waste diesel fuel to make it look like there's nothing going on, like business as usual is normal when the whole freaking economy is taking a big old freaking dump. Now I wanted to talk to you about Bitcoin too. Okay? Remember what I told you? That it was going to take a dump this spring? Well, it's dumping big time. And so this company here, and they don't tell you who they're getting their flour from, but they tell you it's coming from California. So you don't know if it's GMO wheat that they use to make the stuff. You don't know if it was, you know, what's going on with this, if it's a reputable company, right? Because a lot of these people growing wheat are spraying freaking Roundup on it. You can't label something organic if it has this wheat in it. It's going to have residue of freaking Roundup. Okay? And not only that, but the tortillas that they got loaded with all this garbage and the garbage wheat, you can leave that stuff on the shelf for a year. Right? So I think they're just taking them and throwing them in this stuff, and we'll start to find out the people are going to have to freaking do this. If you get some tortillas and set them out on the counter and they last there all summer long and look like the day you set them down, you know something is going on. And so we have Mi Rancho here in California, and they say we get our wheat from California. Okay? They won't tell you who they got it from. Then the La Banderita from Georgia is, they don't even tell you where they're getting their wheat from, let alone who the manufacturer is. Okay? This is being deceitful, because if they were transparent, they would say, we use King Arthur organic flour, right? A company that we know that we can go check out. We can look at them online, see what people review, see their company, see what the workers are saying about the company, right? But they're hiding. And then there's one more called, there's Mi Rancho, La Banderita, and LA Tortilla Factory. Okay? These other two are adding more and more stuff to it. They're trying to F the people over. Okay? We already know it doesn't need all that crap in it because somebody's already got stuff out on the market. It's in Walmart. It's only got like 5 ingredients. So we know you can make them without all this other bullshit you're putting in them. So why are you doing it? And why are you putting sugar in it? They're clowning us. We're going to have to make our own. So you can get your own bread maker and get your own organic wheat. You can grind the wheat if you want to. It's supposed to be a piece of cake. You just dump it in there and it mixes it. You can look at it yourself. Look on YouTube. Look, Amazon's basic bread maker. It mixes it for you. You just pour the ingredients, it mixes it and bakes it. Okay? And and then I saw this other guy where I can make basically my own tortillas, but I like sopapillas better than tortillas. This is called, I guess it's called Indian fried bread. And they show you how to make it. It's a piece of cake. You just take your organic flour that you buy from Walmart, you mix it in with hot water and put some salt in it, and that's it. You don't have to put no baking powder or any of this stuff. And you just let it sit for, I think, a couple hours, an hour or two. Then you take the dough and you just make little things. You can and get you a deep fryer and make your own sopapillas. That's what you're going to have to do, because I think these clowns are freaking clowning our ass. And I think they're making jokes about it. And the people who work there are the ones who know what's going on with these companies. That one company that was right here in California, they were actually in Santa Rosa, where they have, good stuff. This is where all the multi-billionaires live. But this company was actually in Santa Rosa. I think it's called LA Tortilla Factory, or La Tortilla Factory. And they moved last year or the year before. They moved out of California and they moved to Kansas. Now they're in Kansas, and that's where they're distributing their tortillas to the whole nation. They've been in business for like 40 years making tortillas here in California. And Mi Rancho, I don't know how long it's been here, but it's in California. And then the other one, Ole, which is marketed under La Banderita, it has a Mexican flag on it, or Italian flag. And that one is actually in Georgia. Concord, Georgia. It's right north of Atlanta. It's basically Atlanta, Georgia, but it's a different little small town. So I just wanted to share that with you, what's going on with the tortillas. I think we're going to have to just make our own until these mofos straighten up and fly right and tell us where you're getting the freaking organic flour from, so we can check these companies out, make sure they're on the up and up. How are you going to know? How are you going to know if they made it with flour or not? They are deliberately effing up your food so that you will be not well. Okay? Under the disguise of it's got longer shelf life. Who gives a damn if it does? Okay, you remember how I was telling you about there needs to be a shop that provides drinks, basically like a Starbucks. Okay, it'll give Starbucks a run for the money. It'll have freaking lined up. There are some stores, I guess Whole Foods store, who are providing these drinks now, fresh squeezed juice. Okay, but they're not anywhere around here, and they did not let anybody know they were here. I just found out about them by doing all kinds of research. I found out that there are some places that are actually providing this service that I told you, that there should be a shop set up to where you could go through like a drive-through, like a Starbucks, but you have healthy drinks like Orange Julius, all organic, fresh squeezed grape juice, orange juice, what other kind of juices are there? Carrot juice, pomegranate juice. All these things are antioxidant powerhouses. It's going to make the people rejuvenated. You think they want you to have this stuff? The second largest industries going out kicking and screaming because their freaking stocks are going to dump if the people get healthy. And so I said that there needs to be this place like a Starbucks and have fresh squeezed juice. even though it's going to be more expensive. It's too difficult for somebody at home to do this, but for a business, it will be a piece of cake. Okay? It's just that you're going to be attacked like nobody's business by the establishment, by all the other, they're all in on it, profiting off people getting sick. Okay? So you got to be strong and persevere to provide this to the public. And then it should catch on and go from there. But have these drinks available. Orange Julius, and even, coffee. Coffee made with, wholesome products like organic milk. We have organic raw milk in California now. Okay? It's just that they're not telling you. Just out of the blue, out of Petaluma, California, in Sonoma County, they have raw dairy products. These products were only available to people in Pennsylvania and Montana. Specifically, Kalispell, Montana had a dairy there called Kalispell Creamery, where they have all raw, organic dairy products. And Pennsylvania has an Amish farm there called Amos Miller Farms, which the government has been threatening to put in prison because he's providing these wholesome food products to the people. For 15 years, they've been saying that they're going to put them in prison, and they're sitting there freaking eating the stuff themselves because they're just a hop, skip, and a jump from Amos Miller Farms. The Congress people and all the people in government over in Washington, D.C. It's a hop, skip, and a jump from Lancaster, Pennsylvania, where Amos Miller Farms is. An Amish farmer who makes everything organic. Pork chops, pork sausage, beef, dairy products, cheese. Well, this company over here in Petaluma, California, they offer all that too. And chocolate ice cream made with raw, organic dairy milk. And it's in the Bay Area, California, basically San Francisco, the Silicon Valley. Hopefully we'll have that stuff here. That'd be awesome to go down and get some chocolate ice cream that's made with organic raw milk or cream, whatever, and all the other dairy products that come with it. You can imagine the opposition they are going to get. But the multi-billionaires, the highest concentration of multi-billionaires in the whole United States and the whole nation is in this area, the Bay Area, where they have these products. You think they have anything to do with it? In the Bay Area, San Francisco, the Silicon Valley. And the name of this dairy is called Strauss. Straus. Strauss. I don't know if it's dairy or Strauss Farms or whatever, but they're in Petaluma. And this is where this one tortilla company was from. They were from the same place. Basically, they were from Santa Rosa, and then they just moved out and took off to Kansas. And so we have to start making our own until they straighten up and fly right and tell us where they're getting their freaking flour from. Where are they getting their organic flour from? Why are they hiding it? Why do they not even tell you? Walmart, the organic flour they sell, they don't even tell you where they're getting their flour from. Neither do any of the other companies. This one company, Mi Rancho, at least they say that we're getting it from California, so they give you a little bit of a hint, right? But you know how many people use frickin' Roundup in California? So the people who make their own tortillas are way ahead of the game because they can just buy the King Arthur right off the shelf in Walmart. And it's not very much more expensive. You're talking a couple of dollars for the brand name companies who you can check out to see if they're on the up and up. So they're way ahead of the game already. All they have to do is take that freaking enriched flour and throw it in the freaking garbage can and buy only organic flour. And for tortillas, they use all-purpose, so it's organic all-purpose flour. And I would go with the King Arthur for now, right? There's a couple of different brands, but yeah, I guess that's what I'm gonna do. Because like I said, I think these mofos are freaking clowning our ass. Why are they hiding so much and doing all this, putting all this different bullshit and putting sugar in the stuff? Dude, if they know that the people are not paying attention, they're gonna try all kinds of different crap. They're straight freaking clowning the people. Okay, so thanks for tuning in, and we'll talk to you later. Got a local sheriff, not a sheriff, fire department guy going by right there, and that's the bus stop right there. So I might be taking the bus over to Fresno, or that used to be the bus stop. Where's the bus stop at now? Yeah, so I'll probably be taking the bus to Fresno. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Thanks for stopping in. And I see there's only 2 people in here, so I don't know what's up with that. There should be 17 people in here. All right. So we'll talk to you all later. I've got 50 miles showing on the odometer, and I know that I've only got 40 miles because I've only got 10 kilowatt hours. Oh, that's right. I was supposed to go pick something up real quick too. So thanks for tuning in. We're going back through the city of Coalinga here, and right there is where the chargers are, right on the side of those cars right there. They got about 5 chargers right there, but it's a weird company, and I don't feel like charging up because I've got enough juice to, I'll let you see them. See them right there? You got like 5 or 6 of them. I've got enough juice to make it back to town where I can charge for free. Level 2, 5 kilowatt. All right, talk to you later. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for liking the video. Make sure to do all that stuff so you stay informed.